Ready or not, here I come. I'm about to show you where the light comes from. Oh, ready or not, here I come. This is who I am, I won't hide it. I'ma take it all over the world. To the young, to the old, every boy and girl. Ready or not, here I come. I'ma show the world where the love is.
Hello, and welcome back to Finishing Strong. I have the honor to sit here with a newfound friend and soul sister, Letitia Robb. I'm super excited to add her to our Finishing Strong family. Letitia just finished writing her second book.
Yes.
And so I wanted to bring her here to meet you guys and to talk to us about what her definition of finishing strong was. Letitia's story is amazing. It's one that helped to encourage me that no matter what, you can overcome anything. So I'm going to ask Letitia one of the questions that we always want to know. As an everyday person, mother, entrepreneur, businesswoman, and author, how have you finished strong, or how are you finishing strong?
Thank you, Miss Erica. I really, I love the opportunity for being here. Thank you for having me on Finishing Strong. Finishing strong to me was not becoming a statistic. Was not becoming the single mother who had the abusive husband and had all the 4 children and the excuse of not being someone in life. You know, so finishing strong to me was creating my life, was actually manifesting things and seeing them come through to fruition. So going from homeless to now being in the multi-million-dollar sales club as a realtor, managing over 150 rental properties, and being an author and a speaker are things that a person who's been through the things that I've been through shouldn't be realizing. But I changed that. I finished strong because even though that was my beginning, that would not be my end. Even though those were my tests, it actually became my testimony, and I'm standing firm on those things now. So that's how I finished strong.
So you said you went from homeless to now being like this amazing success. What would you tell our viewers was your core? What was the core essence of what you use to build yourself up? Because it takes, like, when life kind of hits you, it throws you back a notch, and having no place to stay with children, it's got to slam you into a mental space that sometimes people get stuck in. So what did you use to just kind of get yourself out of that space to see what you see today?
I went within. Because all of our answers are not outside of us. They're really within us.
Absolutely.
And so during my most trial and tribulations of times with my children, I was studying. I was within myself. I started to change the way I thought. And when I changed the way I thought, I was allowed to change my life. And so I realized that what was happening outside of me was a direct reflection of what was happening within me. And so I went inside, and you know, it sounds cliche, but no, it's real. It's like, okay, I have daddy issues. So I had a husband who I just didn't mind that he wasn't a good man because he just loved me, I thought. You know what I mean? There were so many different things that I had to realize about myself. Inside of myself. But once I did so, and once I was okay with that, and once I understood that no one's perfect, and I went through something that some other person has been through as well, use that for a catapult and own that instead of making it a shame, or you know, no one was born with a silver spoon in their mouths. They've been through some things, and I wouldn't change any of it today because it made me who I am, and I love me.
Absolutely. And if you remember what you heard, what she said, she went in, and that's something that I speak a lot to you guys about, going in, knowing who you are, listening to the voice that's inside of you, because we learn that through those trials and things that we go through, that the answer to everything is inside of us.
It surely is.
It's understanding, number one, who we are, and understanding that the power that's inside of us can overcome anything. So just like yourself, when I was going through my deep dark time in life, I started to read everything. Like literally with the last dollars that I had, like you said earlier, you would spend some on books and some on food.
Yes.
I just needed to hear something that was going to help me get out of that.
Yes.
So I read a lot. I became a student of life.
Me too.
And I read and read and read and read. And I filled myself up with things that told me how to change the way that I think, how to change my life. And I started seeing it manifest in that way. So in that process of you learning who you are, you know, divulging everything that you can just chew up, what then made you decide to let me help other people?
I've always been a help to others, and I didn't realize that that was a part of my calling. But when my husband had 3 children that weren't mine, but when I left him, I kept them. And that's something that people don't do.
No.
And I not only kept them, but I raised them all through adulthood. And so that was an assignment of mine. And so I've been put here to help. And so, I mean, my kids, their ages, compared to my age, I wasn't physically able to even have these children. You know what I mean? They're 12, 14, and 17 years younger than me. So I had to have been real busy as a teenager. You know,
if you would have had those
to
children.
have had those children.
Yeah.
So I've helped people, you know, so when that assignment was over, I felt like God was telling me I had something else to do now. Now that you've raised the children, that assignment's complete, job well done. Now, your life, you lived it for someone else's benefit, for someone else to see it in hindsight as they're going through what they're going through.
Wow. So you changed the way that you thought, you went within, you studied and became a student of life, and you took the focus off yourself.
Amen.
That is a recipe of finishing strong. If I've never heard one,
about me.
That is finishing strong.
Yes.
Because you built everything within. And once within was built, then you said, okay, let me take the spotlight off of myself and turn it on someone else.
Exactly.
How can I help you?
How can I help
what
you?
can I do? And then how can I turn the light on?
Exactly.
The first book.
Exactly. And then by doing so, God blesses me more to help other people.
Yeah.
People don't realize when you bless others, you're setting yourself up to be more of a blessing to others. So things will come from everywhere.
Right.
So that it can help you be a blessing. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And you know, like God says, take care of yourself. You have to be able to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. So don't forget to meditate and pray and to sleep and to eat right and to drink water and to, you know, really pour into yourself as well, because we can get so caught up in taking care of other people that we don't take care of ourselves, and then we don't take care of ourselves, then we lose ourselves because we have to continuously pour into our soul as well as our body. But you have to. I'm reading all the time. I'm continually sharpening my iron. You know, because you have to continue to stay studied up. You have to study yourself worthy. You know, I'm going to encounter someone who's going to need to know or have that experience that I've just now read about. You know, so always stay pouring back into yourself as well, giving yourself away, but always taking care of yourself.
Absolutely. Now, would you share with the viewers your first book, Turn the Lights On, and then how you came about with your second book? And I want you to introduce that title, because I love the title of that second book.
So Turn on the Lights So You Can See is a book that I put out there. It has light switches. It's not necessarily a book about an autobiography to say, hey, I went from this to this. I used points in my life to show how the light switches turned on in my life, in my mind. So you can get that book on Amazon.com, also on Kindle. You can order it from my website, LetitiaRobb.com. And my second book, I started writing it the day that my first book came out. It was a tragedy that happened in my family, and I was compelled to start writing, and I kind of regurgitated all of the chapters and, you know, what I was going to be writing about in one night when this happened. But the second book is called What You Don't Know About Your Soul, and it was important that I progress to this type of material now, because Turn on the Lights So You Can See is a bold book about a material come up. You know, a one life. These are the issues I had. This is the overcoming things, and now this is my life today. Well, there wasn't going to be another one of those books because that was earthly. But by turning on the lights, I turned on the light to my soul, and I found out who I was, and that I'm not just Letitia. I'm an entity now known as Letitia. I said, okay, now it's time for me to share with the world what they may not know about themselves. And then grow with me, because I'm not done learning. And I know what I know, but I know that there's more that I don't know. And I'm studying so that I can be a curriculum creator and continue to guide, be a shepherd in this awakening that we are in right now.
I absolutely love this.
Thank
I
you.
love this conversation. I love the book. I love the title. Like, I love it because you are creating, like you said, that curriculum that when somebody is going through something and like, what in the world am I here for? Why? What's going on? They have something to reach back to and find it. And you guys know, with our conversations, all we talk about is how to, find yourself, hear your voice, and then to be able to be an inspiration to someone else. And that's exactly what you've done. You are the epitome of someone that is finishing. Because you said it right. I'm not done.
I'm not done.
I'm still learning. So I am finishing strong.
Absolutely.
And helping other people to find out what they don't know about their soul.
And then once you find out what you don't know about your soul, start applying your newfound knowledge to life.
Yeah.
And the goal is to spread like a love cancer.
I like that.
To the point where you can't get rid of it.
Right.
And the awakening is going to be so amazing and so turned on, and the earth, the world, but it's going to catch on like that. But we have to start with the faith of just putting the word out there, putting the book, putting the ideas together, and then creating an avenue for them to be spread to the masses. All of that intention is just going to spark what's inevitable, because this is written that we are supposed to awaken now. So if you're watching this, you're supposed to be watching this. It was planned. If you don't know about your soul, you should find out. What you don't know about your soul is on Barnes and Nobles. It's everywhere. This one is through Balboa Press, so it's definitely a lot more reachable, distributed worldwide. And I'm available to come and speak to your congregation, to your group, anybody who's searching and wanting to know. This is the perfect time. This is the awakening, and I'm proud to be obedient enough to have a book out that is a part of the curriculum that is going to be for the awakened souls.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Finishing Strong. These are the conversations that I love. These are the conversations that I love to give to the audience, because letting them know that we're not this unusual being.
No.
The same knowledge that we found, you can have it too. The same awakening we have, you can have it too.
Please.
You can find out who you are when you search within. When you know that you do have a soul that's completely connected to everything that is great and is massive and that is powerful. And you are, as we are, finishing strong. But I never like to leave you without an affirmation. So repeat after me. I will not fret.
I will not fret
Over challenges in my life.
over challenges in my life.
I will count it a privilege.
I will count it a privilege
To be an example.
to be an example,
Just like the overcomers in the Bible.
just like the overcomers in the Bible.
I know that my life
I know that my life
has a purpose.
has a purpose,
And I am the example
and I am the example
that someone else needed.
that someone else needed.
I will live my life
I will live my life
of love,
of love,
confidence,
confidence,
joy,
and
and purpose
purpose
out loud,
out loud,
knowing
knowing
that I was created
that I was created
for such a time as this.
for such a time as this.
Victory.
Victory.
Now believe it and know it.
Now believe it, and you better know it.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to finishing strong together. I love it.
That was
That was a perfect affirmation.
But you know how the spirit do us like that.
Yes.
You just be like, this the one you want right here, and this you going to read that. You ain't even got to worry about
That was perfect.
Ready or not,